Okay, we have. Andre, you do the question.
Okay, you can just start. Yeah, we've got Luke here with a deck profile. He's just top. Was it top 32 or
top 16?
Top 16. Lost to Patrick. Okay.
It's a pretty standard dragon running deck. So we've got 3 blasters, 3 redots, 3 tempest, and 3 tidal. 3 maxi. This card's far too good to not be playing 3 of this format. 2 debris dragons, 2 Corseska, Flandel Guard, 1 Trigon, and the Swift Scale.
Explain the Trigon for people that
you got a choice nowadays, really. You can either play the Trigon or you can play the 2 card troopers. The 2 card troopers are genuinely better for non-dragon ruler matchups because they put you so far ahead against other decks with the mills. You know, any form of dragon ruler, you're instantly ahead. But the Trigon is better. The Trigon leaves you less vulnerable to Crimson Blader. A lot of the time in the matches today, people would summon the card trooper, roll 3, and then attack into my biggest synchro in order to avoid the Crimson Blader on my next thing. So you get 3 damage out of that. The Trigon's also searchable by debris, searchable by Tempest, and discardable to blaster, which makes a difference. Searchable Black Rose Dragons are always pretty good.
Okay, so what made you decide to play this version instead of Dragoonity?
We were looking at the Dragoonity build along the Belfast guys in the weeks running up to it. I think that the problem that I had with it was it doesn't play any really very
Players
hard
in the top 8.
I mean, it's
pairings have now been posted.
The build that Hoban
The
and the guys
feature
over
match
the States
for this
got
will
one
be
break and then a couple of straps.
Table 3,
I didn't like the fact that if my
Michael
opponent had
Bruner versus
the Iron
Thierry
Wall,
Garcia.
the goes and match
That's
on
Michael
in game
Bruner
1, I had
versus
literally 1 hour
Thierry
in the entire day
Garcia.
to get past it with. So, I mean, that reflects a lot further on in some of the choices that the main deck later on in the deck as well. The Swift Scarecrow was, I didn't actually activate this guy. I activated him once, I lied, in time in a game that I lost anyway. For the day. This guy was okay. He always tends, the thing is that he's such a passive card. You always kind of end up with him in your hands and you're sort of like, this guy doesn't really do anything until I'm almost dead anyway. People just aren't bad enough to push the game into my Swift Scarecrow nowadays. I think it's either do it in one game. Yeah, that's the monster line.
But the goal is just not good enough anyway. It's like people who are playing goals instead of the Scarecrow, it's like, it's not worth it in the long run.
We didn't even consider goals, I don't think it's good enough. On to spells. The obvious ones first, then 3 Dragon Ravine.
3 Ravine, yeah.
Again, 2 people playing 2 of this.
Yeah.
This card is the absolute nuts when you open it. It's so good. There's no point there. 3 Sacred Swords, 3 Mystical Space Tokens. This is again another choice based on the Evil Swarm top at the RG circuit over in the States. Going to be seeing a lot of Evil Swarm, a lot of back row heavy decks. And yeah, we were absolutely right. The top tables were effectively dragons versus anti-dragons. So I played 3 Evil Swarm matchups, 2 Haiku Fossil Diner set 5 back row deck matchups, and then the Dolce stood deck as well. The 1 Book of Moon, this card's fantastic, I love this card. 1 Terraforming, just another copy of Dragon Ravine, pushing so far ahead. These is the other card I was playing instead of the card trooper. The Trigon and this were last minute additions instead of the 2 card troopers, which are the guys from Belfast are playing. The logic behind it was that if I'm not playing the card trooper, then I want a card that puts me equally as far ahead as card trooper does. And Dragon Ravine is the other card that really does like this thing. And last but not least, the cards of contents. I almost wish that I wasn't playing this. A lot of the time, you end up putting yourself out of an element in order to search for a tuner for this. It's really vulnerable to the mystical ref panel that's going around. It gets boarded out literally every matchup or something else. We were originally playing 2 and 2 MSTs, but we worked out that we were effectively boarding this out for an MSC in literally every matchup. So we decided to play 3 MSCs on the main board and the cards collections. So that's the spot. Traps.
Wait, did we see a foolish in there?
No foolish burial, no gold sarcophagus.
Oh, hold on. How come no gold sarc?
It's just another card that you sort of... the main ways that you crap out in the mirror are if you don't get any back row at all and your opponent's got free reign of the board, and that tends to happen when you're playing... The gold sarc is effectively another monster. I'd just rather have the dragon...
Players in the top 8, your time starts now. Good luck.
The gold sarc probably a bit better choice than the cards of contents in hindsight. Trap line was 2 red Gecko breaks, 6 cents in return, use cards to go to band, 2 vanity centers. Trap line is still a bit of a work in progress actually. The Gecko breaks over the vanity over the Finchman Moonbus are another throwback to the fact that we expected lots of anti-meta decks, lots of meta decks main board of Imperial Iron Wall. When your opponent's got Imperial Iron Wall, they often have lots of other back row as well. So if you wing blast the Imperial Iron Wall to the top of the deck, and then your opponent uses their other back row to stop your play, then your opponent just draws the Imperial Iron Wall and sets it again.
Yeah.
I wanted something that could hard remove the Imperial Iron Wall from the board, and that was more important to me than the ability to stop Stardust Dragon or stop Draco Sack. If I had to break face down against someone with Draco Sack, it doesn't matter. I can break the Draco Sack before it activates. The Emptinesses were probably a poor call based on the meta that was here today. There was a lot of dragons, and this card's fantastic against dragons. There was an awful lot of non-dragon matchups as well. It'd probably been the right call to put it to 1 and play the third Raigeki break. There's not much to say about Return of Sixth Sense. This is absolutely ridiculous. Sixth Sense, it's been half and half for me today. Calling 3 and 4 on it rather than unless I'm in a position to absolutely be killed on the next turn. I sacked my opponent heavily in one round by rolling this and being dead on the board to an Evil Swarm matchup. I then flipped this, called 5 and 6, drew 5 cards, drew the MSC to get rid of the Iron Wall, and killed him on that turn with the return. So,
it's pretty good.
This should definitely be banned. I've had my share of my opponent. You saw in the feature match there, Patrick called it and rolled 4 and drew 4 cards off it, and then I didn't have to come back on that basically. That's the main board. You want to do sideboard first or extra deck?
It's your choice, really, man.
Let's go to, we'll do the extra deck first. This is pretty standard. 2 Draco Sacks and a Big Eye. I kind of almost wished I had a second Big Eye a couple of times today.
Okay.
Having to start the Big Eye War sometimes, just being forced to it. Star Eater, Twin Crimson Blades, Colossal Fighter, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, 2 Black Crows, 2 Ancient Fairy Dragons, Orient Dragon, and Armory Arm. I should have been playing Thornrider Archfiend. Thornrider Archfiend would have been fantastic against all the Evil Swarm and all the anti-meta decks. There isn't really much that I can say I want to take out for it though. Maybe the Orient Dragon. This guy you kind of have to play in order to have to play with the maxi if you lose the Trigon. But I made it maybe once today, and it got effect baited on that one time. I got the Armour Arm off a couple of times today actually in timeout to win some games. Twin Black Roses for Ancient Fairy Dragons, Twin Fairy Dragons for the massive one-blow combo, and Twin Black Rose Dragons for the anti-meta stuff. Black Rose Dragons. He gets to clear the board and it's fantastic. I caught an Evil Swarm guy for all his cards in one of the matchups. He went into the field, got his infestation on him, set both his cards, and I caught him in the end phase with Pokémon, and then Black Rose is the time one. Twin Crimson Blade, because this is how you win against dragons. If you resolve it, again in the feature match there, the Crimson Blade came down. That's the next person. Going to side deck. So 2 DD Crows, 2 Electric Virus, 2 Fronting Fire Ferret, 2 Debunks, 2 Divine Wrath, 1 Infestation Terminus, 2 Royal Decree, and 2 Skill Drain. I think it's a reasonably standard sideboard. I ended up boarding in these guys a lot. These guys again, the Skill Drains and the Royal Decree obviously for all the anti-meta matchups. I didn't actually draw the Skill Drain very often, apart from one game that I took off of Ultra guy at the time. The Decree I have not actually activated at any point during this tournament. I've had it face down when I won a couple of times, but it's been surplus on all occasions. 2 DD Crows, actually only played 1 Divinity matchup and no spellbooks at all. So, which is I bought 2 in for the Divinity matchup, 1 in against the spellbooks, 1 in against the Dragon Ball matchup if I go second. Usually 1 Electric Virus if I go second as well, in case they want to combo me. The Infestation Terminus is obviously a combo with the Electric Virus for the Evil Swarm matchup. The Debunks of Dragon Ruler, these are for anti-meta. I wish we played more of these actually. I went to time an awful lot of times, but 500 damage really makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Especially Fossil Diners and Haikus and all the those guys. I know, the 2 Divine Wrath. Now we've played this for spellbooks and for sort of random shit like Herald of Perfection and things like that. Didn't actually play any of those today. This stayed at the sideboard for the entire day.
Okay.
If you go maybe first in game 3 against Evil Swarm, maybe sideboard it in, but if you draw it and your opponent doesn't have the Ophion play, it's completely useless.
Yeah, it's dead, yeah.
I don't really like Xyz Encore. I think that it's too much side deck space to commit. I've seen people playing 2 or 3 of those. I don't think that I want to play that one side deck, use 3 sideboard slots. I'm never going to get boarded in for anything apart from the Evil Swarm matchup. I'd rather have the Infestation Terminus. If you draw, it basically means that you win the game if you get the Electric Virus and the Ophion. You get this. Some of the dragons that your opponent's facing with their own Ophion, or you can bounce the back row if you draw this with the Infestation Terminus. Like I say, these were iffy. I don't know what I'd really play instead of them. I kind of wish that I had the third skill drain a couple of times, if I'd seen it. Maybe the third fire through it. The trap stuns that the German guys were playing in their deck were an excellent call, and we were considering these over the Royal Decree as well. That would probably be a good idea as well.
Yeah. So,
what about the debunks? How did they do for each other?
The debunks, well, they're obviously in there for the mirror match to shut off, because they shut off Swift Scarecrows, Mag Seas, and all the Dragon Runner effects as well. I think I've got to activate this maybe twice over the course of the event. It's, you know what it's there for, but a lot of the time I found myself drawing it when I was either already behind or my opponent was already on the board. It's not very good if your opponent is already on the table, obviously. If they have anything on the board at all, they just stack you with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is a straight up, usually a minus, because your opponent's dragons are going to come back to the green. You're using it primarily to either put your opponent out of the colour or to put off a Max C or a Swift Scarecrow. Usually the Swift Scarecrow. Yeah. Usually play and make it run for the game, you the Swift Scarecrow. So it's okay. It's not.
So what was your score after Swiss? What did you think?
I was 10-1 after Swiss. I played the first round. I got 60 card, no sleeves, 12-year-old. Got there.
Okay.
It happens. It's the first round of YCS. Someone's going to play it. Rounds. I then played. I got 5 Dragon Runner matchups over the course of the day. 3 Evil Swarm. 3. How many rounds is that so far? That's 9 rounds. So yeah, 2 stun decks, one which was Madolche and one that was straight up stun. My loss for the day was to Evil Swarm. My opponent opened, oh no, sorry, I lied. It was 1 stun and 1 light swarm in round 3. That guy,
Oh, I know who it was.
Lights.
Yeah, you played Ollie Food.
no, it was another guy. He was called Suresh, I think. He caught a game loss in round game 3 because he learned his Chaos Sorcerer in game 2, and it stayed banished until a bit away into game 3. He caught a game loss for that. My loss for the day was to an Evil Swarm matchup to a Luke Weber from Man from Miniatures, I think. He won game 1 2, couldn't grab it, and 5 back for including Imperial Iron War, and I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh against that hand. Game 2, I opened 3 MSTs, Redox, Dragon Ravine, and Electric Virus. Not the best hand in the world. Dragon Ravine just can't really check so much. I set my 3 MSTs, really hope he doesn't have the Evil Swarm. Opponent summons Caster, summons Heliotrope, gets him some damage. He goes into Earthion, he doesn't detach, so I'm sort of sat there looking at my Electric Virus hand and really awkwardly and being like, well, this will be fun then. A couple of turns down the line, he detaches it to get the Infestation Pandemic, and I Electric Virus the guy, and then summon Redux from the graveyard, attack with the Evil Swarm Earthion, and then double tribute for another Redux to get the Evil Swarm Earthion off the board, and then take the game from there with some Dragon attack. In game 3 was a bit interesting really. He opened Rabbit and 5 back for again, so I have no game, but when he activates the Earthion, in order to search for his Pandemic, he finds an Earthion in his main deck. So we pull a Judge over, and the Judge gives him a game loss for it, which is the wrong penalty. So we appeal to the Judges. We can't get them to overturn it. They give him the game loss. We go to the guys at the end of the match, and apparently 3 separate Judges and their head of team heard us all say a side deck card was in the main board, but we were clearly pointing at the Evil Swarm Earthion, which would never be in the sideboard. So we reversed the matchup for that. I gave him the win for game 3 and us for the match. At the point that he had the 5 backer and the Earthion, my hand was Dragon Ravine Tempest, so I literally had no way to win the game. It was his win, and he got to take it. So yeah, that was my result over the day. I beat Dragons in top 32. That was a bit odd. I activated a return. My opponent had 2 cards in deck, I had 6 cards in deck. I was on 700 life points. My opponent put game-winning damage on the board, swung into my return during his turn, and then gave up when I had no dragons in the deck. I was still on the board, I had to return during his turn, and he gave up. I don't understand it, but I won that game in time with the armory armor of one of his guys. Just lost to Patrick the other feature match on the
The last thing was like, you have no Valence, but you have the skill drains.
Yeah.
Would you ever need Valence in this deck?
I don't really like Effect Veiler. It's not very good against dragons. We were playing 1 originally. We don't think that it's very good against the dragon matchup. You're going to catch at best a Debris or a Scrap Dragon, and we don't, or a Crimson Blader, I guess. But those are all really subpar. The only thing we had for it was it was level 1 tune. It had that going for it, and you know those are all searchable from the deck whenever you like. My dragon would be. So yeah, we didn't really want to play that, and it's terrible against Evil Swarm. If you go first, you might catch an Ophion, maybe if you're lucky, and then they've still got an Ophion. You might catch a Coryphion, but again, that's reasonably awful. And against everything else, it's just terrible. Against the Prophecy deck, I'd rather have a Pro. For when they play the secrets, play the Master Target secrets cast the guy there. They don't have a secrets. So yeah, that's why we weren't playing it. I saw guys who were playing it, I got caught by it once on an Orient Dragon, but usually there's not happening.
I think that's it.
Yeah.